My name is Gant Grisbaum, and I'm a BFI flight instructor. I've also got a private pilot license. And, been flying ultralights now about 500 hours without adding it all up. I live right outside of New Orleans. I do a lot of float flying in and around the lakes of Louisiana and the swamps. This particular aircraft is about a 1992 Sprint 2 with a 582, which is 65 horsepower. This airplane here itself has, right now, I believe, about 550 hours on it. It's had routine maintenance done to it. It's been a very stable, very forgiving airplane, great teaching platform. I'm often asked about float flying and doing it down here in South Louisiana. One of the first things you discover after float flying is that, number one, you never really want to go back to wheels again. So we look forward when the winter time's over and we spend our spring, summer, and fall on floats. What I like about float flying here is that in southeast Louisiana, there's always a place to land. You've either got water, open fields, and generally in any type of ultralight flying, you should never be over an area where you can't land. As you can see, which maybe when the camera backs off, this airplane right now has been landed without wheels on the grass, just slid in. And I also have a dolly. The grass is dry. I'll take off from a dolly, lift off, the dolly will just spin and place itself somewhere off to the side of the runway. If the grass is wet, we'll taxi out on the dolly. We'll use good old Dove or any type of dishwashing liquid, spray it underneath the floats, and we can either utilize the rain if it's rained recently, or in the morning, fresh dew on the grass is cleaning up the lubrication for the floats, break static friction, and get up and go. Again, to reiterate, what I like about float flying from a safety standpoint of view is that with the full Lotus floats and even the fiberglass floats, they can be considered airbags underneath the airframe, so that if you were to make a hard landing both on the water or on the land, you've got a lot of oomph underneath you to absorb before it gets to your butt and your spine and everything else. So I think that's a real good safety feature in any float plane. I think even general aviation guys that fly Cessna or whatever on floats will tell you the same thing.
They're floating on the water, and now they're floating in the air. If you know how to float, you can go anywhere. Skimming on the surface, lifted by the breeze, sailing like an albatross over the trees, coasting on the shoreline, rising with the sun, floating like a seabird sure looks fun. So free and easy, like a wind-borne kite, gliding like a dragonfly. They're floating ultralights, skimming on the surface, lifted by the breeze, sailing like an albatross over the trees, coasting on the shoreline, rising with the sun, floating like a seabird sure looks fun.
Floats, to me, are just more, they're fun to fly. You know, especially South Louisiana. You have water everywhere, you know, and you can get out into the back areas with the floats and get out of, you know, all of the heavy population. You can get to see a lot of wildlife. Floats is just, it's the safest and the most fun way to fly. It just enables you to do so much. You're not restricted to flying, you know, headlands and following highways. You can get out, and a couple people with planes where you got two people flying out. You can do quite a bit of fishing. You can really have fun, you know.
Now I'm floating on the water, and now I'm floating in the air, 'cause I know how to float, so I can go anywhere. Skimming on the surface, lifted by the breeze, sailing like an albatross over the trees, coasting on the shoreline, rising with the sun, floating like a seabird sure is fun. Well, it sure is fun. Yeah, it sure is fun. It sure is fun. Well, it sure is fun.
Hi there, there, my name is Beaver, and it may be a sin, but I've got a tale to tell, so sit down and catch the wind. These floats of ours we have today are part of the Nile. I'll show you how the skins wear down, and then I'll take you to the Nile, where the mosquitoes lie.
Now I'm taking off 'cause I'm feeling the urge. I feel the energy deep inside me start to surge. I can feel the excitement like a wave coming on. Just give me some wings and I'll be gone. I've been living too long between the sky, the earth and the sea. I'm gonna rise up from the surface where I can breathe free. I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna I'm gonna fly. My spirit starts to soar and I haven't got a care. I'm as free as the clouds and dancing in the air. I'm above it all now, everything is so clear. All the problems of the world seem so small from up here. I've got all the earth's natural elements working for me. I can go with the flow, don't you know? I've got to be free. I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna I've got all of the earth's natural elements working with me. I can go with the flow, don't you know? I've got to be free. I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna I'm gonna
I'm E.P. Dalton. I have high side ultralight service here in Key West, Florida. I'm a commercial pilot. Been flying most of my life. Probably about 2,000 hours in general aviation aircraft. Been involved in the general aviation business for, like I say, most of my life. Up until about 6 years ago when I took my first introductory flight, ultralight. We were about 2 minutes into the flight, and I looked over at the instructor and said, "Wow, I want a yellow and red one." Since then, I've racked up about 4,000 hours in the ultralights, and I still have a ball. probably one of the funnest, not probably, is probably the most funnest flying I've done in my life. I've flown all kinds of stuff, done aerobatics, bush flying. Here in the Keys on the floats and the ultralight, it's just the ultimate. Nowadays, I like to say I have a PhD in grins. I say that because when you pour the coals to it, right when you break off the water, you look over and your passenger is just grinning from ear to ear. A lot of the comments I get, most of the comments are, well, let's break it down here. The younger generation is, wow, that is awesome. Older is outstanding. Brits like to say, that was brilliant, simply brilliant. This is probably the most rewarding type of flying I've ever done. You get back to the dock and they're in awe of what just happened. Just having a ball in the air. That's a good feeling. I always like to say, I'm glad my dad was a pilot, not a dentist.
Float flying is so safe is because you can land the floats on the land or in the water. Wheels you can only land on the land. You know, and if you're coming into heavy brush, you're better off with the floats. You got some protection. You know, whereas the wheels you don't. Float flying is the safest flying.
I've been thinking about us sinking down from time to time. There's just no hiding when we're both sliding down. Then we start another climb, yes, and it's here we go. Take me high and low. Here we go. Take me high and low.
Well, float flying to me I'm a lot more comfortable flying floats than wheels. It adds an extra amount of safety because with floats you can land with floats where you can't think about landing with wheels. Not only in the water, but I mean, you know, if you have an emergency landing in a bumpy field or high grass or whatever, you can land with the floats, whereas the wheels are kind of sensitive to the type of runway you're flying off of. So to me, the floats are a lot safer, you know, because whether it be a gravel road or you might scratch them up, cement road, cane field, whatever, those long floats sure come in a lot easier than wheels.
Falling together just like two feathers dancing free in the wind. Touch the ground then, without a sound we are lifted up higher again. Yes, and it's here we go. Take me high and low. Here we go. Take me high and low. I suppose that highs and lows are really one and the same. My expectation of levitation wasn't natural, it just left me lame. Here we go. Take me high and low. Here we go. Take me high and low. Oh, the rhythms and cycles we feel in life, they're a gift to us at birth. Let your mind flow high and find the time to come back down to earth. I'm just learning now not to stay in the clouds. There's no obstacle I can elude. But when I'm reality bound, the journey back down doesn't have to alter my mood. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Here on the earth, our values are worth us practicing what we preach. It's so uplifting, we both go drifting beyond what we thought was a reach. Yes, and it's